Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal, giving you the latest and greatest Mr. Informal podcast. Again, I go by the name of Mr. Informal. Hopefully, you are being safe. Hopefully, you are safe. And certainly, you are cautious and certainly and definitely healthy. As you know, this pandemic seems like it's not over yet. It's almost over. I don't know what almost is or when, but almost. And so, hopefully, we go back to normal or at least have a feeling of normal. So, these are the 4 topics for the Mr. Informal Podcast 140. Yes, we are on the 140 Mr. Informal Podcast. But first, please add me on Instagram, MisterInformal, and then check out my website at mrinformal.com, mrinformal.com. So what are the 4 topics for the Mr. Informal Podcast 140? Well, number 1, as you probably see in the news or news feed or in terms of your updates in life, censorship is happening. Number 2, are companies really nature friendly? Are they really nature or environmentally friendly? I don't know. Number 3, apparently Louis Vuitton just can't catch a break, and so they got hit with their Louis Vuitton leather, cow leather, on their yoga product. I see it as not a big deal, but I'll take it on. We'll talk about it. And then last but not least, number 4 is coin regulation. As you know, that cryptocurrency is rising, and so apparently the government wants to regulate it because, well, just like the dollar, they want to regulate it. And so those are the 4 topics for the Mr. Informal Podcast 140. And so let's go ahead and start the podcast. So first topic on this podcast is certainly censorship. As you know, Twitter, Facebook, Apple, Google, even Mozilla, I don't know what made them do some censorship, and other companies out there, especially tech companies, are censored Donald Trump because apparently it was his fault for the nation capital was taken over, the nation capital's building. I don't know how that happened, but we're going past that. And so not only that, there are other people out there that are being censored. And so, look, my take on it is that I don't care who it is. I don't care who, what, or what the person did. But this seemed like a calculated move from every company out there to do this. They didn't do this independently. They do it like in some kind of united way of thinking. And so I have a big problem with this. And so even if I don't like the guy, it doesn't mean that guy should be banned. I mean, is that what we do now? Is that we're so sensitive that we should ban others? Like they can't take trash talking or they can't take ish talk? I mean, it's in the internet. I mean, am I going to be so flustered and mad and rage that what the internet said? I mean, it's not like this person is gonna come to my actual house. I mean, the only people that can only do that is my family, friends, and the government, and certainly the police. Those are the only people that are able to do that, certainly. But at the same time, it's a big problem because at any time, at any given moment, you are censored without any reason, even though it's not your fault. So you're basically guilty by association. And so that's the world we're starting to live in now. And so I'm not happy with that. And I'm pretty sure that you're probably going through the same thing as me. And for this to happen, it's a big problem because here's the thing. Parler was a competition to other social media. It's not just Parler. It could be Minds, it could be BitChute, whoever. But now they're also trying to remove them. and so Apple and Google removed Parler into their App Store or Play Store, whatever you want to call their store. And so, what is the big problem here? And yet they did not remove Facebook, even though Facebook have Facebook groups that can have groups plan out some type of attack, some kind of action or whatever, and yet they don't do anything about it. So it's a big double standard. Now, I'm not saying that people should not be suspended to what they say. I think some accounts should be suspended depending on what kind of things they say or what kind of things they expose. Certainly, if they were exposing some kind of worldwide terrorist group, that's the type of video that should be banned, because that's just negative. That's just a big no-no. But at the same time, if you are just talking, even if you are just talking trash, or even if you say, oh, kill this guy and so, come on, let's be honest. That person's not even have the guts to do something like that. Even if they could, they're really going to travel from the west to the east or wherever they are in the world. It's just the internet. And I think people are taking seriously about the internet that they suddenly forgot to live their life. I mean, the world is bigger and better out there than just the internet. But the censorship alone, all these censorship, I have a big problem with it, because now if we do that, we're trying to protect the future generation, and if the future generation suddenly faces that, they don't know what to do with it. We need something to deal with it. You need to face a problem, even if the problem is the truth. So, topic number 2. From retaildive.com, there are no environmentally friendly companies. The pursuit of corporate social responsibility. So sustainability has been a buzzword in retail for years. I agree. Took a bit of backseat in 2020 as retailers turned their attention to tackling a global health crisis. It's one of the elements of larger social responsibility strategy through and protests over the summer. After several high-profile killings of black people by police brought to light others that retailers should be focused on as well. So moving on to the article, it's the larger point though was that retailers should be actively considering their social responsibility strategies, not just reacting to problems as they come. Ron Jarvis, Chief Sustainability Officer at the Home Depot, said having social responsibility consideration is pretty much table stakes in current retail environment, whereas a few decades ago retailers were for the most part just responding to stakeholder pressure on the subject rather than proactively seeking out ways better themselves. In today's world, sustainability responsibility is a competitive measurement. Jarvis said it's a measurement that we look at with our suppliers, and we know our customers, consumers, and social investors and other investors look at this the way, is this company that I want to invest in that knows what their impacts are for the long term. See, I agree in somewhat. Oh, I'll be generous. I agree with Jarvis here, who works, Ron Jarvis, Chief Sustainability Officer at the Home Depot. But my problem with Home Depot is that, look, if you are going to talk about it and you want to be proactive with it, and I know wood is obviously biodegradable, how about reducing the plastics on your product? Meaning, stop with the plastic packaging. When I buy a Home Depot, one of those movable circular items that you can move furnitures on, you can move furnitures on carpet, it's all plastic packaging. Why plastic packaging? Why not just use recycled paper or recycled carton? No plastic packaging, you don't need it. If you want to use tape, fine. To secure it, fine. But why? You see, 2020 was the year of no environmentally friendly products. How do I know? Well, we bought so many masks, and you can probably see them everywhere in the trash. Not only that, I'm sure we also bought a lot of stuff that have plastic packaging. Not only that, including paper. That's because we bought them online. And so what do we use online? Well, packaging. Paper packaging, carton packaging, box packaging, however you want to call it. So, does the title hold true of there are no environmentally friendly companies? That is absolutely true because people have been talking about it. So, UTA President Dave Kimball pointed to the importance of shared purpose within a retailer to ensure effort will last. That includes having a clear mission for the company and dedicating resources, tracking metrics, and goal progress. What does that even mean? Like, for what? Like, environmentally friendly products? Like, we gotta show our dedication and progress to customers? Like, you don't need to do that. Just have environmentally friendly packaging. No more. Reduce the amount of plastic in your items that you are selling. Like, come on. Like, let these companies know, like, hey, before we sell your items, we would prefer your packaging to be this recyclable or biodegradable or made of paper instead of plastic. Come on. Is it really that hard? But going back to the title, yes, there are no environmentally friendly companies, and even if they are quite small. That's why you guys support small businesses. On to topic number 3, which I find it absurd, but let's talk about it. Hypebeast.com. Hindu statesman thanks to Louis Vuitton for apparently recalling inappropriate cow leather yoga mat. In late December, self-described Hindu statesman Rajan Zed voiced public grievance with Louis Vuitton and the parent company LVMH for highly inappropriate slight. Zed, the president of the Universal Society of Hinduism, took aim at an insensitive cowhide leather yoga mat that Louis Vuitton released over the holiday season. The luxury may have taken Zed's criticism to heart, as Reno-based activists had issued press release pointing out that Louis Vuitton apparently withdrew the yoga mat. An author in Interfaith Relationship, who was the first Hindu led the American Senate prayer, Zed's latest statement explained that recent searches on the Louis Vuitton web store for the keyword yoga mat have apparently turned up negative results. Indeed, Louis Vuitton various international language sites display not available. Louis Vuitton hasn't publicly addressed the issue, but Zed apparently thanked the luxury label for understanding the concern of Hindu community. So, here's the thing, I have a big problem with this, okay? You know, Louis Vuitton is not the only company that's doing this. Even if you wanted to make Louis Vuitton an example, it's not gonna work. Well, for one, it's already sold out. Number 2, it's already sold out. Number 3, even if they already took it out, it's already sold out. And I'm gonna repeat it again. They're not the only one that is doing this. Yes, I do know that, you know, Hindus don't eat cows. And they're saying that since a yoga mat, yoga, Hindu, and then cow leather, you know, it's not appropriate. I find this absolutely ridiculous because in the scheme of things, you're not really solving the issue. I don't care if you wanted to make an example of Louis Vuitton, but you are not solving the issue here. I mean, are we really going to this path to the point where we're really going this low to the point where we actually want them to stop making these types of products? A yoga mat and a leather strap handle. I mean, they make it seem like, you know, they should not create leather strap handles for yoga mats. I mean, I could probably buy a genuine leather, cowhide leather, yoga mat straps, and then buy a separate yoga mat, and then boom, there you go. So, this whole notion of, hey, let's be sensitive about cultures, let's be sensitive at the kind of product that we're doing. No, let's be honest. And the worst part about it is this. The The factory that are in India, you can even say Bangladesh or Pakistan. I'm sure Pakistan have Hindus too. Also have genuine cow leather. They make genuine cow leather. Not only that, I'm sure some factories they also make genuine cow leather yoga mat straps. And not only that, he's waiting for an apology from them. So, if I was Louis Vuitton, I would not create an apology. I would actually make a statement. And I know that's a bad way of doing this because you're probably going to make them bad. No, I would say, before you come to us, how about you solve the issue of the factories there making genuine cow leather yoga mat straps? Once you solve that issue, or once you ban it, then I'll make the apology. How about you do that? That way, any type of cow leather that is being used for yoga mat in those countries are banned. They cannot make them at all. But he's not doing that because he knows that these type of straps are actually good for business. And so it's more of a double standard here. And if I was Louis Vuitton, I wouldn't even say anything. And even if they did say, I would just repeat what I said. So topic number 4, last topic, coin regulation. As you know, cryptocurrencies is a big deal now these days because apparently the dollar is going down in value because the U.S. government is just giving out money and printing out money like there's no tomorrow. And so the government wants to regulate cryptocurrency coins such as Bitcoins, Ethereum coins, Litecoins, Dogecoins, whatever coins you want to call it. So I'm not happy with this because the government regulation are saying, oh, it's because of money laundering. No, it's not. We all know the U.S. government is corrupt and they are doing their own money laundering to themselves. Not only that, they are stealing our money, the kind of money that we pay on taxes. So by regulating coins, they know where the money's moving to. And there's no anonymity. I'm not happy with this, and so you should not be happy with this because I like carrying cash and I don't want the government to know or any type of entity to know where I'm spending my money. And so it's always great to have cash with you, and cash is actually physical assets. So I wish that cryptocurrency goes up even more, and I wish that it could be accepted more widespread because that way we are not tied to the U.S. central bank. And for some reason, no one even knows how the U.S. central banks work. I don't know. I don't even know where it's located. I can do further research and say, oh, it's located this, it's located. Come on, let's be honest. No one really knows, and no one knows who's controlling the central bank. Who is working at the central banks? Like who's associated by it? You know, and why is the dollar the top dollar? You know, why is it that is the money that's always get laundered? It's always the most talked about. Is it because we're the United States of America? I don't know. But going back to the coin regulation, you know, we cannot. This is me. I don't want the cryptocurrency to be regulated, and I know that the U.S. government is trying to make a cryptocurrency. I think it's called USD coin, USDC. I mean, if you want to invest in it, go ahead. But certainly, I'd rather invest in other type of coins that is not related to the U.S. government, and maybe in the future that, you know, it could be something that we could use maybe in credit cards. I mean, we've been doing that, but nothing beats a physical cash on your hand that you can just go anywhere, just have the freedom, just buy $1, $20 or whatever, and just use it for exchange goods and services. And so what holds the future for cryptocurrency? I mean, I don't know. I've talked about this many times. I don't know. It hasn't been adopted widespread. It has not been out there. All we can see is stocks going up more and more, and coin mining with the graphics card. And as you know, there's no graphics card that you can even buy right now. Low amount of supply. I'm talking about the new graphics card, not the old ones. You can buy the old ones anywhere, but the new ones. And so, I mean, it's gonna be tough. And as you see in news, some guy lost his password. He could lose millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin money. And so, but for the government to regulate this coin, it will not be good news. And so that concludes this Mr. Informal podcast 140. I hope you enjoyed this week's podcast, and I hope I gave you some insights. And I'm glad that you listened to me from beginning to the end. And please, again, do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and then check out my website, mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. And so again, please be safe, always stay healthy, and always be healthy. And so I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.